Oh, we're going to the hole in the ground. Fantastic. So that's your actual trial. So this is where the relic was being kept. I assume it's the purple thing that's over there. Oh, it's a footprint. This is the footprint you guys were referring to. Dragon must be huge. Actually, that's a good point. That's bigger than the feet of any of the dragons we've met thus far. Perhaps in driving the dragon away, we also drove it into a rage. The relic is down there. Pass the trial and you may claim it. I'm not concerned about the person who's buried under there. Paimon thought that the relic would be protected by some kind of seal or guard or something. But it looks like it's just lying there, and it doesn't seem like anything's stopping anyone from just taking it. Why don't we just jump down and take it? What you say is correct. This relic does indeed have a seal, namely the trial that you have seen. According to the kingdom's records, one must pass the trial in order to retrieve the relic. Conversely, if it is taken by someone who has not yet passed the trial, it will lose its meaning as a relic permanently or just while in their hands. I don't know. Thus, even I must pass the entire trial to retrieve the true relic. There must be both a trial and a challenger to do so. Without satisfying these two conditions, the best case scenario is that we'd be walking away with a useless lump of stone. The best case scenario, does that mean something worse could happen too? Those who act in defiance of the rules shall be cursed. Cursed? In that case, let's just go ahead and accept the trial. Well, she has to put the hoops up. Okay, where are you off to? Oh my, okie dokie. Bow! Ah, they move! Perhaps those furious flowers over there could be of some use. Yeah, I know, I'm looking at it, bro. Let me use it. Oh, sweet dear God. What? Oh, I thought there was more to it. I hadn't expected you to be able to judge the wind currents so accurately. If you were flying squirrels like I am, navigating those wind currents would pose you no challenge, of that I am certain. Paimon's a natural when it comes to flying. Well, that's how she gets around. If everyone had to use wind gliders, I'd be unbeatable. Is that so? Really? The princess? Psst. I don't think so. I'm glad to hear that, because you two are the most guardian-like candidates I've ever seen. Then let us continue. The wind current conditions are just right. No problem. Hee. Everything's going great. Maybe we're the guardians that Her Highness has been looking for. Her Highness is the only true guardian. Thank you for your kind words. I had in fact passed the trial many times before the dragon destroyed the sacred site. Purely in terms of flying ability, I am confident that no other squirrel is my equal. Previous candidates found even the first few stages too difficult. Huh? But if Your Highness already passed the trial, how come you didn't take the relic? Unfortunately, the relic has yet to acknowledge me. Wait, so there's a third criteria? You didn't mention that. So even guardians require the relic's acknowledgement. Why does that relic get to call all the shots? That I do not know. Perhaps it thought I didn't pass the trial. Do the trial stages change for each challenger? All I know is the relic has never lit up for me. But you, not only have you come precisely at our kingdom's hour of need, but your capabilities are undeniable. That is why I believe you will earn the relic's acknowledgement. Let us continue. The final stage of the trial awaits. I mean, you're the one who stopped for a conversation. I was happy to keep going. Oh, Jesus. Wait, where are you going to? Just across? Yep. Come on. You can do it. Ah! Whoa, what are the ones on the floor? Am I ignoring the ones on the floor? I think I am. It appears that we have some uninvited guests. Might I trouble the two of you to kindly remove them from the premises? Should we indulge their antics, I fear something. Oops, didn't use her correctly.
How dare you! Let my name echo in song!
Yeah, I'm with her. How dare you?
With all my strength!
Are you doing really?
All eyes on me!
Nahida. Never mind, we got it. Truly, you both are exceptionally skilled. Something's wrong with the furious flowers. Very well, then I shall complete this part on my own. I mean, I needed more art. Please stay vigilant to ensure that more unwanted guests... Nahida's bloom, it didn't really do much. Not gonna lie. There we go. Next, we must accept the relic's judgment. I'll be right with you on that front. Just give me half an hour to heal, and I will be right there. We're just gonna make sure everybody is at full health. I mean, there's no way for me to heal in this place. So we just have to do it the old-fashioned way. You know? It helps when someone only has a small amount of health to heal. Nahida, I'm looking at you. Oh god, Nilu. 44,000 health? No wonder it takes forever. Wow. Don't start shooting things, alright? We passed. Lunara, we're guardians now. So is this relic... This is the relic that's used to acknowledge new guardians. Huh? There's something carved onto it. Like a line of text, maybe. Let Palma take a closer look. Stories follow rules, unfolding in cyclical patterns, but each should follow its own course. Palma doesn't get it. Do you get it, Lunara? It's probably some roundabout way of cheering us on. It's probably meant to encourage challenges. Those words have always been there. Even I do not know their origin. I sense that they may hold some great significance for the kingdom, but I have yet to grasp their meaning. Whatever the case, given your performance in the trial, you are undoubtedly the most suitable candidate for the title of Guardian that I've ever met. Your abilities and judgment are beyond question. Meeting you at a time like this is truly a blessing for our kingdom. Now that we've retrieved the relic, we may hold the ceremony right away. Is it glowing though? Didn't you say it has to glow? I am fully confident that your courage and abilities will have won you the relic's respect. You flatter me, Your Highness. It was nothing. We're just glad we could help you, Your Highness. Whoa, when did you guys get here? Palma didn't even notice you arrive. We flew over, of course. We were among the best flyers around when we were young, you know. How else would we have been able to serve the princess? Never judge a squirrel by its appearance. Well, I never. A visitor turning up at our time of crisis, a guardian emerging from the trials victorious, and the relic in our possession, intact and unharmed. Your Highness, everything is exactly as the legend said. It seems that our kingdom finally has a future to look forward to. We shall find out soon enough. Now, please place your hand upon the relic. Let it light up and proclaim that you are henceforth the guardian of the kingdom. Do you think it's not bright? Is it even lit up at all? Let Palma take a look. Maybe it's been here so long that it just can't light up anymore. Kind of like how candles that have been lying around too long won't burn very brightly. Maybe the princess has to touch it at the same time as us. Because we worked together to earn the prize, you know? How could that be? All the details matched, yet the relic still... Your Highness, whatever the case, at least the relic is in our hands, even if our guest has failed to be acknowledged by... No. Your Highness, place the relic to one side. It is my kingdom for which the challenges have come, therefore it is I who must acknowledge them. Your Highness, but no ruler of our kingdom has ever taken it upon themselves to acknowledge a guardian. Then let us create a precedent for future rulers to follow. Lunara, Paimon, come forward. As Princess of the Kingdom of Breezes and Bells, I hereby declare that Lunara and Paimon shall henceforth be recognized as the kingdom's Paladins of Breezes and Bells. It is my honor, Your Highness. Hooray! A Paladin of Breezes and Bells. Such a cool title. Yeah, it comes with smites and everything. Definitely cooler than just being any old guardian. But surely that means we still haven't found our guardian. And if that is so, then we won't be able to fulfill our calling. And if we cannot fulfill our calling, we'll no longer have a future to look forward to, just like the kingdoms that came before us. Fresh not. I will find a way. Wait, speaking of choosing a guardian, they're currently choosing a champion over at Rainsong Pond. Pharaoh Bear, it's your time to shine. You mean that Pharaoh Bear who could jump super high? You're right. The whole reason that they held the contest was to find a champion to come rescue the princess. Although it doesn't seem like the princess needs saving. That's what I said from the beginning. If you were looking for a super strong champion to win your contest, they just so happen to have one. In fact, there's bound to be heaps of potential champions over there. Wait, by contest you mean trial, and by champion you mean guardian. What an extraordinary coincidence. Though our trial doesn't really have anything to do with jumping, still, from what you've said, it sounds like they've found the strongest candidate to complete their calling. It seems a trip over to Rainsong Pond is in order. Thank you for informing me. Wait, but your highness, they're all paper frogs over there. They're nothing like us. They're not... So what? A guardian's most vital asset is what is in their heart, not their appearance. Ministers, you are to stay and look after the kingdom while I am gone. I will go to Rainsong Pond myself. My loyal paladin, I hope that the champion over at Rainsong Pond is as fearless and skilled as you are. But I thought the frogs said they were coming here. Well, skilled is certainly accurate. But as for fearless, that remains to be seen. Indeed it does. Oh, you mean to say that this champion of theirs is actually a sheep in wolf's clothing? Ha ha ha! Then all the more reason to go meet him in person. All right, that's settled then. Oh, and if I'm going to Rainsong Pond, perhaps I'd better bring some gifts. She's so nice, cheerful sort.
For you.
For me? Oh, how sweet. I'll take. But what about the person who was here? I need to help this person. Do you need a hand? Please help us. Pull. Yay! I got you. I didn't realize it was going to be that simple. I thought it was tied to the quest. We've been stuck down here for a long time. I was about to say, you guys giving me anything? Did I do all that for nothing? A giant shadow suddenly fell upon us. It was so terrifying. There we go. So, I can go do the other thing. I could go continue with the princess. I feel like I want to continue with the princess. Okay. I guess I have to find the quest. Come to think of it, Princess Semest asked us to come meet her again after some time had passed, so we could set forth in search of the kingdom's future. Part wonders if she's found the hero that the relic would acknowledge yet. Let's go pay her a visit. But... I just left. Whatever. Down. Yay! Fata Bear is here with a Stampe, I assume. Nope. Hardly. So we're all completely stumped. Looks like I'm here now too. Oh, it's you. Such a relief that you've come. Thank you for coming, my honourable paladin. We seem to have run into a rather peculiar problem. Peculiar problem? Oh no, don't tell me that the relic hasn't acknowledged Mr. Farabear either. If the problem was only that I hadn't been acknowledged as guardian, that would actually be simpler. How to put this? Mr. Farabear is indeed the champion jumper. That much is indisputable. But the trial he passed was Rainsong Pond's jumping contest, and when he was acknowledged a champion, it was a committee that had declared him so. It is true that Her Highness resides in a tall tower, and that in this kingdom does indeed have its own series of arduous trials. But she clearly isn't trapped, much less needs me to jump up and rescue her. And those trials, no matter how good I was at jumping, I'd never been able to pass them. They're just undesigned for paper frogs. On paper you seem like the perfect candidate, but the details just don't work out. What are we to do if we can't complete our calling? You keep talking about this calling of yours, and Mr. Farabear mentioned it too. What exactly is it? If you haven't found the guardian and the princess you're looking for, why don't you just keep looking? Even if you don't find them right this instant, it's not like this place is going to vanish into thin air. Our kingdom exists for its calling. It is also the only way we can save it. Likewise, the residents of Rainsong Pond have sacrificed so much, and are continuing to sacrifice, for that princess who's nowhere to be found. Generation after generation of champions have quietly aged away, all memory of the deeds fading away into oblivion. Mr. Harley has spoken of these brave ones before. Weighed down by the burden of unrealized ambition, they are left with no other choice but to end their days in obscurity. Oh, that's horrible. Such a fate is crueler than the fall of a kingdom. Firebear, we talked about this before. You said you were going to reconsider, and now we must have faith in our champion. If we punched on a lotus leaf and suddenly found myself drifting away with the current, I would do my best to make sure it didn't capsize in the middle of the river. Now that I carry the lotus head bangle, or wherever that is, I don't see it on your person, I cannot shirk my duty. This has nothing to do with courage, Mr. Horalu, just duty. He. Palmer knew our lotus leaf rafting experience wasn't a complete waste of time. Spoken like a true champion. But if I do end up going overboard, you'll have to call for a Stampe. He'd definitely be better at this than I am. He's a real champion when it comes down to it, so why have I ended up being the one on the lotus leaf? Haha, looks like we still have to go rafting a few more times. Ha! You sure are one unique champion. No matter how hard you try, you're always convinced you're going to fail. You really needn't worry. After all, not only did you come here entirely of your own accord, but you had the courage to shoulder a great responsibility. What was with the sudden light change? Holy heck. You were brave enough to make a choice and boldly follow through with it. At least in my eyes, you're no less than any flying squirrel. Your Highness, thank you for your praise and for your trust. Besides, I'm already on this lotus leaf, so I can't get off now anyway. Ha ha ha. Well, anyway, now that we have the backing of so many strong fighters, I think it's high time we headed into the Cave of Eerie Murmurs to see what lurks in its depths. Sabon, Sufash, there's no use trying to stop me. After all, when have you ever succeeded in holding me back? Come on, lighten up. This is the last clue we need to save the kingdom. But not a single princess that's gone into the Cave of Eerie Murmurs has ever come back out again. If there's nothing in the Cave of Eerie Murmurs, what does it matter whether I return or not? But on the other hand, if there really is a clue to the salvation of the kingdom in there, then even if I were to be trapped inside, that wouldn't be such a bad thing, would it? What kind of place is this Cave of Eerie Murmurs anyway? And why does your Highness sound so serious? Is it the place with the door that we found before, or is it like a completely different location? Oh, it's nothing out of the ordinary. Simply put, it's where those princesses of past kingdoms searched for the answer. But even until the day their kingdoms vanished utterly, those princesses were never seen again. Huh? By never seen again, surely you don't mean they disappeared too? There isn't a single flying squirrel that knows, but we'll find out soon enough. To be safe, I'll bring the relic along with us. Who knows, it might just come in handy. Why did no other princess ever do that? It seems like that's kind of the purpose of the relic. All right, everyone, let's go. Given that one of you is an expert flyer and the other a champion jumper, I trust you'll both be able to keep up with me. Okay. What about the relic? Oh, it just floats behind. Whoa, Her Highness has flown off already. Let's catch up, Lunara. But where is it, is the question. Go to the Cave of Eerie Murmurs. It is the cave. Honorable Guardian, what can I do for you? About the kingdoms that failed to fulfill their calling. All right. Since the princess herself has acknowledged you as a paladin of breezes and bells, it is only right that I tell you about such matters. Prior to the current era of the kingdom of breezes and bells, this land has known many kingdoms. Just like us, their calling was to find a guardian of the kingdom who would be acknowledged by the relic. But these kingdoms, which were established to fulfill a calling, declined and vanished before they could fulfill it. Not a single one of them managed to find a guardian who could save the whole kingdom. Vanished? So if you can't fulfill this calling of yours, something bad will happen? That is correct. In some cases, the subjects of the kingdom suddenly lost their voices, while in others, the kingdom's water supply dried up overnight. Oh, that'd be catastrophic. Having lost their future, all of these kingdoms eventually faded into oblivion. If we cannot fulfill our calling, this will be our fate too. In any case, I wish you good luck, Paladin. Sounds like we're gonna need it. I suppose I can just fast travel there. I don't need to really do anything along the way. Have we been up by that tree? I don't know. I know we haven't done this part, and that's fine. We'll just do the cave, and then we'll check that out before we head across. Didn't the princess take us to the Cave of Eerie Murmurs before? Paimon's sure she heard a strange voice while we were there. Just to let you guys know, us paper frogs aren't very good at jumping in caves. How does a cave mute your ability to jump? Sorry, I'm just looking at the glowing wall up here. It glows and then it like recedes. It's very intriguing. I can't wait to get closer and look at it. Or was it just a light that made it recede? No, there it goes. Don't worry, Mr. Farabear. Paimon might have just been hearing things. I am a voice, but a voice is not life. Interaction is only born of contradictions, and only interaction is dialogue. There it is again. Do not fear, these voices will not harm us. They are simply lamenting their own past. Are these the princesses' voices? To be precise, both princesses and princes. What they have in common is they are all voices from fallen kingdoms. They came in search of answers, but found nothing. All they could do was stay and lament their fate away. Have you ever tried interacting with the voices, or do you, like, always ignore them? You know this place well. You must have come here many times before. You show great intuition, as one would expect of a paladin. That is correct. I have come here often since my reascension. It's actually, I'm pretty sure it says accession. After all, compared to all those princesses and princes from the past, there's nothing special about me at all. It was wishful thinking indeed for me to have imagined that a miracle might suddenly happen, and that I'd find our true guardian just like that. But for the sake of my kingdom, I had to keep searching for a way to fulfill my calling. I could not simply stand by and watch it fade away. So I looked everywhere, but found nothing. Finally, though, I narrowed down my search to the Cave of Eerie Murmurs. But because this cave has never been thoroughly investigated, and so as not to drive Seborn and Sufash sick with worry or cause their voices to go hoarse, very long sentence, I have never entered the Cave of Eerie Murmurs itself. Now, for the future of the kingdom, and all aged champions, I have no choice but to go in. Don't be afraid, Your Highness. Not only do you have the super strong Lunara and the champion jumper Mr. Farabear to back you up, but also the, seasoned floater, Paimon Do. No matter what happens, we'll make sure you stay safe. Right, Lunara? Mr. Farabear? Leave it all to me. We've, got your back, I think. I mean, we've hopefully got your back. Seriously, caves really aren't designed for jumping in. It's all right, Mr. Champion. We still have plenty of time to prepare. After all, we need to figure out how to get into this cave first. That is true. Perhaps this might come in handy. What is this? Hello? What is this? Okay, ignore the frog. Alrighty. Okay. That should get those water spouts to come down a bit. Oh, I see. Okay. I kind of need you to... Can you please move? Thank you. I hate that I have to do it twice. The door opened. Then come everyone, let us enter. It does seem weird that that's all relevant. That seems really weird. Like a few hoops that magically appear are the key to opening the door. That's just weird. What does the text say? I definitely can't read squiggles like that. It's so chilly around here. Such a strange vibe. Paimon's just glad we haven't seen anything weird. Wait a sec. Why is the princess using sec instead of second? I doubt that would be the case. What's that carved on the wall over there? It looks like a story. What's it about? After setting up the trial herself, the princess awaited her guardian within the kingdom. I think I recall the story from the kingdom's records. In the legend, it is said that despite the passing of much time, still there came no sign of a guardian, and it seemed that the kingdom's resources would soon run dry. The princess, whose name was Sioya, therefore made a decision. She let the kingdom's people fall into a deep slumber and sealed off all its land except the tower, where she alone remained to await the coming of the guardian. Hey, Farabear, it sounds like she's your princess. What became of this princess? The guardian that she awaited never came. In the end, she is said to have come to the Cave of Eerie Murmurs alone, then vanished from the world without a trace. It is true that this princess showed great courage, but I cannot say that I agree with her approach. As I see it, by deciding to simply wait there for her people while her people slept in blissful ignorance, she consigned her kingdom to an unknown fate. Instead, she should have taken the initiative by calling upon her people to unite as one, seeking out this guardian together. If she had done this, even if all their efforts had turned out to be in vain, at least she would have known that she'd done all she could. It's just as the last line of the story says, stories follow rules, unfolding in cyclical patterns, but each should follow its own course. Your Highness, it hasn't come to that yet. Yeah, come on, there's still hope. And who knows, there might be some important clues for us left to find. Forgive me, I seem to have gotten a little carried away. Anyway, let's keep searching. Looking around, it seems like we haven't completed the trials in the Cave of Eerie Murmurs yet. We literally are 2 steps away from the opening. Feels completely different to how Palmer imagined it. Stay on your guard, everyone. Let's proceed cautiously. Well, it says slowly, but cautiously works better. Alrighty. Did that just say text read instead of read text? Irritating thing is that it is both reasonable and obvious. Okay. I don't know what that means, but that's fine. A system for saying goodbye. It's so glaringly obvious. Okay. I don't think it's anything up top. We proceed. Lotus leaves and dewdrops. What the? Why has a story been carved on the wall? What is it? Someone's carved a story here that goes, once upon a time, there was a paper frog who wished he had a pair of wings. He prayed to the goddess, who told him that if he could jump higher than all the other frogs, he would have his wings. Wait a sec. If he could already jump higher than all the other frogs, why would he need wings? Maybe it's just hyperbole. No, this champion's name is actually recorded in the committee's register. This paper frog, whose name was Cibrellus. Why does everybody have a C name? Cibrellus. Cioia. Simest, or whatever the princess's name is. Once won the championship 7 times in a row. No frog was his equal. His symbol was a pair of wings made of lotus leaves, so they dubbed him Winged Cibrellus. 7 times in a row? Pam and heard you won the championship many times in a row too, Mr. Firebear. Me? Yes, I've won it 7 times, and Estampe 6. But I've been no match for his champion. Back in those days, they had to figure it all out themselves, without any experience to go on. If my generation of frogs have jumped higher than others, it is merely by jumping from the shoulders of giants. There he goes again, putting himself down as usual. So what happened to that champion? This I do not know. According to the committee's records, in the last jumping contest he ever took part in, Cibrellus came second. Second? So that means... Indeed it does. Given that he no longer felt up to the task of rescuing the princess, Cibrellus announced his retirement there and then. He told his friend that the jumping contest no longer held any meaning for him, and unless he rediscovered its meaning someday, he would never again compete. From that day forth, not once was his name ever again mentioned in the records of Rainsong Pond. So just like those princes and princesses, there was a point in time after which this champion simply vanished from the world. That's right. All in all, the story really doesn't seem like a promising omen. Hold on a minute. The last line of a story is also, stories follow rules, unfolding in cyclical patterns, but each should follow its own course. Why does this line keep reappearing? We'd better complete the rest of the trials first. Yes, you're right. Let's focus on the puzzle before us. I wonder where it will lead us in the end. What's all this in here? Looks like this cave has no intention of just giving us the answers, but rather plans on testing us instead. The road to success is never straight, huh? Another trial. Let's do this. Thank you. Then let's go take a look at this final trial. Try to complete. That's just really reassuring. Try to complete the trial. Let's go this way. More words? Wait, isn't this just back where we came from? Oh, I thought we came from there. Negative. Okay, that's fine.